Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. I'm hoping everybody is doing great on this fine Tuesday evening. Yeah, it's a crazy weekend, and now I'm trying to catch up on sleep. I'm getting too old to do this stuff. I don't know. But guys, welcome to the chat. Looks like there's quite a bit going on. Maybe not so much. I kind of posted the link late, so we'll see what's going on. Let's see who all's in the chat. First, there may be a few new subscribers because I spent the last 3 days on a retreat with a bunch of high school kids. And one of the things that, one of the games that we played in between all the other craziness that goes on is two truths and a lie. And my two truths and a lie in this game, and they were trying to figure out what it was, is, well, here's what I put out there. This is just some little bit of trivia. I've met 3 United States presidents. I have a YouTube channel. And as a Boy Scout, I once saved somebody's life. Those were my 3 things for two truths and a lie. And so they put that out to the crowd of guys, and they all thought my lie was that I've met 3 United States presidents. But my lie was that I was a Boy Scout, but I never saved anybody's life. So, but they all couldn't believe that I had a YouTube channel. And then they threw up one of my videos from my YouTube channel. So who knows? We might have some guys from this weekend joining us. So, guys, what's going on? What's going on in the slot car world? How are things at your home tracks? How are things at your club? Hopefully things are going well. Let's see who else in the chat while you guys respond. Dan is in the chat. DNA is here. Chris Freder, Gladstone. Chris has more track coming from LEB this week. Chris is hoping for the BRE 510s to arrive today. My 510 did not arrive today. Wow, that is big. Why is that so big? And now why is it crooked? Are they all that big? Who else is in the house? DNA. Let's see here. Sean is here. Welcome, Sean. Who else? Don Young is in the house. Gina is here. Welcome, Gina. Thanks for joining. Hopefully all is well your way. Let's see. Brandon is here. Hey, Brandon. Good evening. John Tucci is in the house. Cyberg is here. So, guys, welcome. I'm glad you're all here. Eric Tucker. Hey, Eric. Patrick is in the house. Poor Patrick. He is probably so sick of hearing from me and my millions of questions as we try to attempt to figure out what's going on with my lap timing. Robert Lee is in the house. Steve Swaney is in the house. He's president accounted for. So I'd like to see. Hey, Slot Car Daddy. Hey, Slot Journal. Welcome. Yeah, guys, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Greg. Gary. George. Hey, George, I missed your live stream, but it looks like you got the Revo, the Corvette Revo running really, really well. That is a car that we've struggled with a little bit, trying to get it to run well on the plastic track. So, hey, Shotgun Dave. My brother, Dusty, is in the house. Hey, Dust. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Albright. How about everybody give John Albright a big happy birthday, and hope that it stops raining sometime soon out your way, bro. You guys are getting some crazy, crazy weather. Yep, happy birthday, Mr. Albright. Hey, Harry, what's going on? Hey, Anthony. Let's see. Man. Hey, Collection. First time here. We love first time folks in the stream on the live chat. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you're here. You will find that this live chat, we probably don't accomplish a whole lot, but we do talk a lot about slot cars, and we get a lot of questions answered in the chat. So if you got a question, put a Q in front of your question, so it's easy for me to spot, because the live chat moves pretty quick. But yeah, happy birthday, John. Hey, Clint. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Hey, Show Me. What's up? It's been busy. That's awesome, Billy. And Amanda, glad to hear that you guys are busy. Hey, Vin. Hey, No Drama. That's what I'm all about. Hey, Tom. Good to have you. Burn Dog is here. Wow, we just got a bunch of people. You guys that stay up really late for this, man. Anthony. I'll tackle this. Let me stretch your question out a little bit. I don't like how Ecamm keeps reconfiguring that. I have not figured it out. So I'm closer though. I mean, it's obvious that it's an electromagnetic thing that's causing it. I posted the video. So it was weird. I probably should not have posted that video on a weekend that I was not going to be online or have access to my phone and stuff. So I came back Monday night to a ton of comments and questions, and which was awesome. And I knew that that's what would happen. If I posted my problem out there, you guys are awesome about helping me troubleshoot. So that's why I'm so transparent when it comes to me being a goofball and getting stuff wrong. But I think that we're narrowing it down. So I removed the jumpers because that's what I thought was causing the issue. But what it appears to me is something about going across a digital lane changing track causes some sort of interference. So any car that has the capacitors installed on the motor, no problems at all. But that's kind of a hard ask to ask people to solder on a capacitor to their car when they came over, just so that my lap timing works, right? It's not really fair to ask. And I don't want to do that because I do not want to install one of those on every one of my cars. But the cars that have them don't cause a problem. But the cars that don't have them, and especially an angle winder, really causes the lap timing to go crazy. And you can really see it when you're running, where you can see all four lanes. I clear them, just like in the video. I run the car in any of the lanes, and it bleeds over and causes problems. And Rob, who's the Calgary Racer on YouTube, Rob has given me a ton of advice, and I just shout out to him. And if you don't follow his channel, go follow his channel. It's a great channel, great wooden track that he built. Really smart guy, and he gave me a ton of ideas. Thomas Seidner, the guy that I originally talked to about building this hardware, he has been super helpful. Patrick from Fast Laps has been super helpful. And then Alex Duncan, who is Sunshine Speedway in the chat, he has been a huge help too. And I got a box that came today, so we'll open that. And that's from Alex. But he's been giving me some advice too. And so I think we're narrowing it down. I think that there's some sort of voltage drop or spike anytime it creates interference on the track, and somehow through the grounding it's hitting the Arduino and causing the Arduino. It doesn't cause the sensors to blink and cause a lap to be counted, but it's causing the Arduino to think that the sensors are dropping voltage and gating a lap. So whether it's the Arduino dropping voltage, I did put it on its own power supply. People told me to move the computer further away from the track. People have given me all kinds of advice. And so I've tried most of it, and most of it hasn't worked. And so I'm just like one thing at a time. I'm just trying to figure it out. And I think we're closer, but it's not perfect. And I haven't been able to get a handle on exactly what causes it, Anthony. So thanks for asking the question. We still got a long way to go, I think. I'm at the point where it's probably just easier to swap out sensors. And it's probably because these sensors that I'm using are cheap Amazon sensors from China. And I have one laying around here someplace in this mess of a desk that I have. What did I do with it? It was just here. It was just here. Anyway. Oh, right here. And it's not an expensive, I don't know if I can get it to focus there. It's not an expensive sensor. Not much to it. And it seems to be wreaking havoc. Again, when I put the capacitor on the car, no issues. The capacitor on the Arduino, problem. It doesn't correct it. So it's somewhere between the car and the sensor, maybe. So maybe I should put the capacitor on the sensor. What if I soldered it on the sensor instead of... That might be something to try. Drink roast, that's right. Anyway, I and why I wanted to use the optical sensor is the only time you get a bad lap, in theory, before I discovered all this EMI ghost lap stuff, is when the guide goes through it, right? And so the problems you have with the overhead and breaking the light sensor is that if somebody slides over into another lane, it doesn't matter what sensor you're using, it's going to cause a lap, right? But if somebody crashes through the gates, could trigger a lap, in all the lanes. And so that's why I was trying to do this with the guide. But it has presented some problems. The easy fix might just be to order different sensors. And that's what we're going to try. That's one of the things that's coming up next. So have someone order. We'll get them here in a few days and give it a shot. So, well, hey Doug, welcome. Good to have you. And who else? Gosh, man, busy. That's the easy way to take care of it, Billy. Rumor has it that Ogle, the postal destroyer, has my 510s, and they're en route. That's awesome. That'd make a great birthday present. You probably still have some time to receive packages out on the West Coast. Hey, Kurt. Talking with Steve, Kentucky, tires. That's cool, man. Hope things are going well your way, Kurt. You guys are always talking tires. You're probably truing some tires tonight. We don't accomplish a whole lot. Story of every slot car streamer. Well, I'm just being truthful. Hey, Les. Welcome. Anthony, question. Marty, did you figure out why your car is making extra laps? Oh, yep. I already hit that, Anthony. Yep. So, no, I have not. Hey, Steve. Missed you last week at Cincy Slots. I don't know. Maybe we didn't because you didn't win. Bruce won, but we did miss you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Do only Carrera digital tracks work on Carrera digital track? Do only Carrera digital cars work on Carrera digital tracks? No. There are other cars that can work. You can run Skelectric cars with a Carson chip made for Carrera digital. You can buy aftermarket chips, the FT Slot Technic that you can get from Slot Invasion. Oscar, who's in the chat sometimes, he sells them directly from Slot Invasion. You can pick them up other places as well. I think Bruce at Cincy Slots carries them. Probably LEB, Professor Motor. You can probably get them all over the place. But I know that Oscar has them because I think he's the importer and provides them. You can put those chips in lots of other cars. It takes a little bit of work. You might have to drill a hole in the chassis for the light, the little LED. But you can chip a lot of different cars to run. Now, Carrera cars are built to run digital. And what you find is digital is pretty hard on cars. When you have cars that can be in the same lane, there's lots of rear-end collisions, and you can tear up some cars. And so the Carrera cars are built to take that kind of abuse. Some of the other brands are not. So that's my only caveat to that collection. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. What else do we have? Midwest RC. What's up? Hey, Midwest. I'm doing well. Hopefully you are as well. Hey, Bo. Good to have you. Glad you're here. Thanks for staying up late. Let's see. How much digital track do you have? So on my layout, I have about 8 lane change track pieces plus the pit lane. So I've got quite a bit. I could pull all of it out and replace it with regular track and see if that's the problem. But there's a big problem for doing that, and that's part of this box that we'll get to here in a minute, that we'll talk about. What else do we have going on? Hey, Curvy. Let's see. Hey, Dave. Good to have you. Les started 3 months ago and already spent too much money. Welcome to the slot car hobby. But if you're into hobbies, you know that all hobbies get expensive really quick. Any hobby that you take seriously. I mean, I started playing pickleball. Even pickleball got expensive pretty quick because the first thing I wanted to do was replace my $30 paddle with a $100 paddle. So, Marty, could it be different size motors or pulling juice? I don't think so, Slot Car Misfits. Hey, Tom. Hope you're doing well, man. I don't think that it's different size motors. I just think that all the slotted inline in the Carrera cars and Scaley cars have the capacitor, and it's filtering the EMI noise. It's filtering the noise from the cars, and so I think it has to do with digital and analog together, just causing problems with the Arduino. And the, it's probably the sensors, the cheap sensors, but, it's kind of hard to eliminate them to see if that is the issue. The only thing I could do is get nicer sensors. But what constitutes a nicer sensor? That's what Patrick and I were trying to figure out today. But it could be, but I don't think that it is different size motors. I think that what I'm discovering is angle winders are a little noisier than side winders, and inline maybe the noisiest of all, and that's why a lot of the inline stuff comes with capacitors already on them. I don't know. Maybe I should take the capacitor off one of my inline cars and see how bad it is. But I noticed that it is really noisy. I have an Arduino homemade lap counter as well, but I use photoresistors. Yet, Tom, I think that's probably what I'm going to have to move to. I don't think we'll have the interference issues with photo versus RF. So I think that's what I'm running into is that. So it was worth a try. I don't know. We'll see. Yep. Show me. That's probably what I'm going to have to switch to. And that's okay. I just was trying to get away from having to have a light bridge. That's pretty typical, Danny. But that's awesome that 84 people are tuned in tonight. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Question. Has anyone tried the $99 Piranha Performance chassis for the SCX CUDA? Steve, I have not tried it. I know that Dave Kennedy received one, I think, or he was supposed to. And I'm guessing that maybe he just hasn't shared that on his live stream, or maybe he did, but I think it's supposed to perform pretty well. I don't know if he's finished that project, but I know that it was one that he had. Hey, Sunshine. What's up, Alex? Nope, I did. Chris, I did order another 9083. Yeah, you can't go wrong with those. Hey, Blue Water. What's up? John, you're working on the land barge tonight? Fantastic. What else do we have? Question, Marty, where can I get this color-coded wire taps like you have on your Carrera track? I have a lot of tracks, so I need those. It would be easier for me. So, Anthony, that is actually a Carrera product. So you can get the wire tap wires. I bought a few of them and cut them in half and soldered my own clips in. But the color-coded 4-wire. The other thing you can use, you can go to Harbor Freight and you can get a trailer wiring kit harness. And that works really well too. But the official Carrera is kind of expensive. I know that there's another brand that you get from LEB that's a little cheaper. And it's color-coded as well. I forget who makes that. I would have to look it up. But, Anthony, that's what it is, actually Carrera branded wire. It just makes it super easy. Those clips, you just snap them in underneath the track. Super easy to keep things straight. Because the last thing you want to do is get your jumpers crossed. I've done that. That's how I burn up a tech slot box. So we don't want to do that. Okay. Flex steel on the bottom. Flex seal, maybe temporary on a piece of duct tape on the bottom of the angle wire motor. Tom, I will try that. I will see if I can get something to reduce that. I just hate to ask people to do that to their cars just so they can get lap count on my track. But that's a good idea. I'll do some testing with that. We need to get over to Indiana to race with our group. That would be awesome. Have we talked about where you guys are located? Indiana's not that big of a drive for us. I mean, we can beat 3 hours to Indianapolis. So 3.5. Chris, I know that you have $300 paddles. I've tried to stay away from those. Bo, no digital, no problems. You're probably right, but I don't want to eliminate my digital. We still run digital every once in a while, and it's fun, and we'll get to that with the box. Hey, Greg. Yeah, Greg, 45 days till the Michigan 24. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully you guys have a great race. I mean, that's what we know Kurt's working on. He's working on tires for the Michigan 24. So there's a lot of teams, 6 teams, I think, right, that are preparing for that big race. I may be going just to hang out for a little bit and watch the race and maybe do some content. So I'm excited about that. I'm trying to work it out on my schedule to make sure. I've been training the trigger finger. That's what we're talking about. That's right. Anthony, Carrera sells it along with other suppliers, but you can also go to Lowe's and get yourself some 14 gauge wire. Yeah, you can buy the little copper straps to make it easy to solder on and save yourself some on the wire, because it can get expensive. They are pricey, but they're easy. Can you buy better wireless controllers for the Carrera Digital Wireless Collection? Here you go. This is a Frankenslot. And this controller is a fantastic digital controller. Totally recommend them when you can find them. So your best bet's probably Professor Motor. I'm sure there are some other places you can get this. Great, great product if you want a trigger style wireless. Now, my brother was playing with some 3D printed trigger style cases that you basically take the insides out of the Carrera stock controllers and make them. So I'm guessing that you might be able to do that with the wireless as well, and make some wireless triggerless or trigger controllers. I don't have a picture of what Dusty was working on, but it worked pretty good. Bo, are you running silicones on your track? Yes, Bo. We run silicone here because that's what we run at the club. So instead of having to prep two different types of tires, we just kind of go with what the club we're racing at right now goes with, and that is silicone. Collection, hopefully that answered your question. Tom, I want to order one of the new Thunder slots. Yes, you do want to order one of the new Thunder slots. The two new McLarens that are coming out are pretty sweet. The dark green, or the one with the teal wheels, as Dave Kennedy corrected me. They weren't light blue. Love it. Yeah, George, you're right. You can get some speaker wire. That's probably the cheapest and easiest way to do it. Let's see what else. Yep, Bo, we run silicone, super tires, and quick slicks. Hey, Michael Squire, how's the scratch building going, sir? I have not started my Galaxy yet, but maybe this coming weekend. I've been busy the last couple weeks. I've got my body. I think I've got everything except for my tires. I need to place a slot car corner order. I've got, most of you guys do this. I've got a cart that's full of stuff. I just need to finish it, and I keep thinking of things that need to be added to it, so it keeps growing, and which means that I just haven't ordered it yet because I just haven't hit the submit button yet, because I keep adding things to it. So, but I'm working on it. So hopefully your build's going great. Thanks for the video updates. They're great, Michael. You do a great job with those videos. It's very cool to see how other people build their chassis. It's one of the things that I can't make the decision on. I really want to build a chassis that I know will work great on the track, but I want to try something not different than anybody else. I just want to try something different than the standard, right? So I'm trying to learn more. Curvy. Yeah, I already made videos about my tech slot, burning up my tech slot and having to replace it basically burn up the Carrera chips, digital chips in them. But Gladstone just learned how to do factory reset on Carrera controller. Does everyone already know? On the factory controller, the factory reset, is this for the digital? The wireless? Yeah, Gladstone, I'm not sure I've ever had to factory reset my Carrera controller, but Yeah, Gary, it was a great little stream. I hate that I didn't catch it. It was right at the end of the workday, and I got the notification once I got home. He lies. He has 0 tires done. That's great. Question. I'm going to buy my first 132nd set this weekend. Leaning to digital. Good idea. Carrera. Collection. So we talk a lot about this in the live chat. Not every week, but we've done lots of different videos about that on the channel. I started with digital, fell in love with it. It's a lot of fun. You'll really like it if you download the Smart Race app off the bat, or some other digital. If you just use the Carrera app, it's very short on features, and it's not great. But you have other options out there to run digital, and having fuel simulation, a pit lane, lane changing. The app announces everything. Fast Laps is another that's in development, that's getting ready to be released, and it does the same thing. It announces your races. It creates an amazing environment, especially for the beginner. And so what we found is we really loved digital to start out, and then we started transitioning to analog because we wanted to bring in other cars, and we got tired of buying and installing chips into cars that were not Carrera cars. And so as we spread out into slotted and NSR and Revo slots and Thunder slots, we were tired of having to buy. Not it's a bad thing buying chips, but you buy a $90 car and then you throw a $45 chip in it, and then now you're sitting at $150 in this car. So being able to switch from digital to analog made it very easy. And so we use a tech slot box to do that, thanks to our buddy George. And that is great. I mean, we still use it. I've got a little test track that I'm building and working on, and the tech slot box gets used there. And then I built my own digital analog converter. And then in this box is the new Ultra 4 from Axlebox that Alex sent me, that I'm going to wire up and test out and make some videos about to help guys out there who want to try this box out. And this box will do 4-lane analog, true analog, and 4-lane digital. So I'm super excited about that, because one of the things that with my box that I've just never finished was I can do 2 lanes digital, but I never finished it out to do 4 lanes digital. So right now we don't really run digital because it's not an easy flip of the switch. I have to swap out a piece of track, and it's not that big of a deal, but this box will change all that. And so that's what we're going to work on. Open this up in a minute so we can take a look at it. Jeff, you're right. The worst case scenario, but I think I'll probably just end up going with a light bridge and those type of sensors. That's probably what's going to happen. But collection, back to yours. Digital is a great place to start. Analog, you can get in a little cheaper. You can always upgrade to digital if you want to go that route and save yourself some money up front. You're not going to get. Most people here are not going to bash digital, but it is different, and it's a lot of fun. But as you transition and grow, you probably want to be able to have the option to do both, and so that's makes it a lot of fun. At our club, we run a class of analog and a class of digital each night. So for those guys who just love to run it, to all of you who run silicones on your digital tracks, silicone dust will cause problems over time on your circuit path, which will cause problems with the rail changing track parts. Yeah, that's why I sweep them out, Bo. it's good. What do the copper straps do? The copper straps on, the little copper strips, they easily plug into the bottom of a piece of track. Oh, do I have a piece of track laying around? Hold on. How in the world do I not have a piece of track laying around? I got organized and I boxed all my stuff up and I have no piece of track out. If you flip a piece of Carrera track over, there are little holes in the bottom of the rails, and those little copper clips will snap in and slide in so you don't have to do any soldering. And so that's the joy of those. Okay? So that's what those are for. Hopefully that helps, Anthony. Would be nice to see a wireless trigger controller video. Burn Dog. I could probably do that. I will get the digital. I got to kind of put my track back together because of all the testing I've been doing. I'll get that back together, and I'll work on a little review of the Frankenslot. Yeah, that's no problem. We could probably do that. Yeah, with Carrera, you can run 124 cars. So would I recommend Carrera track? Yes. It's because that's all I've had. So, shout out to the Fingers. He just sent me a message and said that he was watching on the big screen. Bro, hope you're feeling better. Take care of yourself. You know you're loved in the chat, whether you're participating and typing or not. So shout out to you, bro. Hang in there. Hopefully you and Gloria are having enjoying things. So, what else? Let's see here. Actually, Dusty just sent me a picture of the trigger that he built. Let me see if I can make this appear. Open in preview. So he 3D printed this. This is going back to the controller. Let's see, web browser. Nope. Well, I don't know how to get that up there. I'll work on that. Hey, Tad. Hope it's going well. Hey, Josh. Josh is getting ready for the 24 as well. Yeah, Burn Dog, that would be cool. It would be cool if we could take Dusty's project and make it a wireless controller. We could figure out how to take a regular wireless and put it inside his 3D printed controller handle. That would be cool. I'd never really thought about that, but oh yes, the number 17 McLaren will be my first Thunderslot. See, Chris, you drove Dusty's M6B and got you hooked. You can't go wrong with the Thunderslot. That's funny. Scratch build is going good. Working on zipper top now. Yeah, I saw your project, your video. That was great. I think the teal was the inserts reflecting off the body in the photo. Okay. That's possible. Either way, I like that car, John. It's Code Cantina. How's it going, man? Hopefully you're well. Daniel Thomas. Hey, Daniel. John Albright. How are you? Long time no see. There you go, Bo. It's his birthday, Bo. On Career Digital, if things go weird, factory reset, power off, no cars on track, old pace car button, turn power on, reset complete with lights cycle. Oh, cool. Learn something new every day. Thanks, Gladstone. Hopefully people take note if that's something they feel like they need to do. Hey, Greg, does anyone suggest soldering caps to the rails near the lap counter track? Same as the motors of the digital cars. Greg, so I have caps installed at the Arduino. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move those caps and I'm going to solder them right to the bottom of these, the sensors, and see if that, I can't get it to focus, and see if I can make that happen. Because maybe if I shield them here, if I protect them here, maybe I might be able to make something happen. But at the Arduino, they don't seem to be impacting any of it at all. And that's where Rob told me, that's where he showed he has them installed on a picture that he sent me of his Arduino. So it's right at the inputs of the Arduino. And so that doesn't seem to be working or helping. So I'm going to move it closer to the sensor. So I'm going to put them on the sensor and see if that helps. I don't know. You just passed 1 year in the hobby. It starts with a set. Then you're asking the mailman to drop stuff off at the barn so your wife don't see. This is true. My wife came home and this box was sitting still outside. She didn't even carry it in. Just left it on the porch for me. Because she's like, another box. Another box. Hey, Day Trip. Welcome. So again, if you run silicones on your digital track, silicone dust will cause problems over time with your circuit. Yeah, I don't think, Bo, I mean, we haven't had any problems with that because I keep a clean track. And then I take my shop vac and I run a sweeper across it. And so we try to keep it clean. But I understand. Chris's wife runs cars with him, so he can't get away with it. Most of us have had analog tracks as kids and got back into the hobby because of digital. That's true, Greg. Yeah, I had a HO when I was a kid, but there are lane jumpers for more power around the track. Yep. All right, Anthony. Hopefully that so you understand what those copper clips are for. Yeah, LEB has them. Hey, Frankie Tomatoes, what's up? How are you, bro? I have a True Speed coming for Carrera, but it's not wireless. Excited for the first aftermarket controller. You will not be disappointed. The True Speed is a great controller. Some old dogs have no interest in learning new tricks. So, yeah, I mean, digital's not for everyone, and especially if you don't have any digital cars, it would be silly, right? And so I can't blame you, John. Plus, your next move is to build a wood track. Don't lose sight of the goal. Let's see. Feeling better. Yeah. You mean older dogs? Yeah. 1 year older today. The shoe fits. That's great. No, Dusty. I can easily throw up a web page, but other apps, Ecamm doesn't make it easy for me to throw them up there. So I guess if you emailed it to me, I could probably bring up my email and show it. I mean, I could probably email it to myself. Let's see, Jay. What's up, Jay? Thanks for checking in. Hopefully you enjoy this. We're talking digital versus analog tonight. Somebody's looking at buying a set. Curious to know what they want to jump into. I mean, you can't go wrong with either Carrera or Scalextric. I think, and then Polycar. If I was going all analog right now, even though Polycar does have some digital pieces coming out. I would probably look at Polycar track. Carrera, it gets big real quick, but with Carrera you can run 124 and 132nd scale, and that works great for us. So we are super happy with our Carrera track. Really like it. But Jay, welcome. So that's kind of what you bumped into this conversation tonight. If anybody is running a Professor motor controller, there's a file on printables for a 2-finger trigger. Mine has been working well so far. Nice, Josh. Yeah, I'm a fan of the 2-finger controller. The 2-finger trigger. Super happy with that change. Where's De Leon? I don't know. We haven't seen Rob tonight. Yeah, Dusty's having some problems with his 3D printer right now. So I have the DeFalco 2-finger on my DD304. Yeah, I have mine on my DD302. I love it. Hey, Slot Car Clubhouse, welcome. Yep, I agree with John. Welcome to the fray. Hopefully you enjoy it. Frankie Tomatoes, how many new cars since Christmas? Let me think about this. Since Christmas, I've been pretty good. I got one car for Christmas from my brother. I received the Toyota GT1 Revo slot. I bought it. So since Christmas, 3 cars. But I've got 2 cars coming this week. So I'll be up to 5. But I've been on a pretty good behavior. I haven't ordered the new Thunder slots yet. I did get the new slotted Toyota Group C car. Oh, no. Make that 4 cars because I got the AMG. I picked that up too. Greg, I think that's why Bo said the joke again to see if I caught it. Yeah, urethanes will leave some dust, but the silicones, we don't normally have a problem with it. Hey, William, thanks for joining. Appreciate that. I like the Jägermeister car in your picture. We're a fan of that livery. That's a great looking livery. So thanks, man. We try to have some fun around here. MX69.com. Welcome. Glad to see you're back. Jay, True Speed, not that we're aware of that they're releasing a wireless controller. We were talking about the Frankenslot wireless controller for Carrera Digital, which we like really well. True Speed, it would be awesome if True Speed had a wireless controller. There is a company in Europe that's making a wireless analog controller that looks fantastic. The company starts with the S. They also build tracks, digital tracks. Sledge? No, that's not it. Oh gosh, I'm losing it. I can't remember. Tom's turning in. Night, Tom. It's late over there. Hopefully you get some rest. I've ditched all my digital. Where is Billy? Don't want him to see this. That's funny, Frankie. Yeah, Anthony, it is awesome. It's amazing. Like lane changing, and it's fun. Midwest has a True Speed for sale. Midwest, if you are, this is your digital controller, the True Speed. I've learned digital is great if you like tearing up cars. Les, that is correct. If you look at all of my digital cars that are down here, none of them have wings on them. Most of them, the grill is missing. The engine parts in the rear are missing. And those cars have had a lot of fun. That's the thing. They have had a lot of fun. Slot Car Clubhouse. The 4-lane Omnislot box are shipping now. That's cool. I did not see that he was doing a 4-lane. I know that he would do a 4-lane if somebody requested it, but I didn't see that Jim has released that. That's awesome. 2-finger PM trigger by Mr. Flippant. I wonder who that is. Is that you, Greg? After 2 hours, I stopped using Carrera Digital. For me, it wasn't interesting. Analog only now, and no need to buy tons of chips. Yeah, I understand, Harry. Let's see. Our club is growing, and we have a new website and YouTube channel. Nice, Slot Car Clubhouse. We'll have to go out there and follow it. Is it called Slot Car Clubhouse? Yeah, Greg, that my nephews love crashing cars, so that's we run a lot of slot. Printers always have trouble. He's probably a jerk. Hey, George, you're tuning? Good. That's a fun multitask there. Keep on tuning, bro. 5, well done, sir. I see guys on Facebook buying cars like it's a crack addiction. Yeah, I'm not. I try to be frugal with this hobby. It's hard sometimes. I've invested a lot of money. My brother has invested a lot of money. John Mark has invested a lot of money, all in this track, let alone the tracks that they could have at their houses. And then we've all bought our fair share of cars. But right now, it seems like most of our car don't count. I didn't heed your warning, John. Sorry. Yeah, Anthony. Man, thanks. I appreciate that. We'll get it figured out. Greg, thanks. Silage Racing. That's how I would pronounce it. And that wireless controller is awesome. It was very, very cool. But I've not seen much about it since like the original videos that he posted. But I did see a post the other day where they had a bunch of the internals for them. So that's cool. The slot car show, they do it a couple times a year in Cleveland. And yeah, it actually happens twice a year, I believe. One in the spring, one in the fall, April. It's known for to have a bunch of HO stuff, but I guess this last one or the last two have had quite a bit of 1/32 scale stuff. So the problem is it's on the Sunday, and I'm always tied up on Sundays because of church, and I can't make the drive up there before the show's over. So maybe if I do a little better planning, I'll get up there for it. But I've heard that it's good. And not counting means you never have to say sorry. Oh, True Speed did make one, but it was for Scale Electric Digital. Thanks, Greg. Greg's a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate that. Yeah, Frankie, are you moving to all analog? Jay, having both digital and analog via the Omni slot box is simply incredible. No limitations. I build for 1/32, 1/24, and truly enjoy both. Yeah, Jay, I couldn't imagine not having 1/24 digital. Game changer. Jay, I don't know that I would run 1/24 cars unless they were digital, except for scratch build cars, 1/25 scratch build cars. I would not run those digital, but all the Carrera 1/24 cars, yeah, wouldn't run those analog. Those are best ran digital. That's some of my favorite digital racing. We just don't do it a whole lot, but it is fun. If I missed anybody's comments, I apologize. I'm trying to stay up with the chat. Anthony, you're going to be purchasing an Omni slot box. Nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Oh, Chris, so what's in the box? Speaking of what's in the box, Greg, you do have the racing controller, just the wired version. Just the ability to control the curves and things right on this. It's got a little LCD screen on it. That's amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. You should have your first Revo delivered this week. It's the Toyota. Frankie, you will love the Toyota. If you need some tuning tips, I did a video, but I've done a few more things since that video, so it runs really good. Really, really good. I'm super happy with it. Greg, that's cool. I've tried to find more information on them. Frankie, what has track record right now? Right now, for no magnets, would be my Thunderslot Elva. It's running the 25K ball bearing motor, and that motor has a little bit of magnetic traction, magnetic downforce, and it runs 4.7s. But Greg and Josh were over running a couple of their cars, and they were running 4.7s like it was nothing. Now my Mosler will run around 4.1, but it's got a lot of mag downforce. It's a Mosler 25K motor. It's fast. That's probably my fastest car. But no mag track record is about 4.7, 4.6, somewhere around in there. That's the one thing about we used to be very precise with the track record because we kept track of it in Smart Race. Whatever car we were running, we would make sure that we had it programmed, and we don't do that so much anymore with analog. So that's one disadvantage. I'm working on buying Gary, I know you've been wanting one for a while too. Let's see, what else do I have? Highland, Indiana. Midwest, I'll look that up. The slot car community is amazing at helping and sharing. Yeah, Harry, you're right. It's that's what I love about it. Sillage rhymes with mirage. Silage. Mirage. They are French, I believe. Yeah, I do know that they're French. I totally Americanized their name. I apologize for that, Slot Journal. Thank you for keeping me straight. If you don't want to pay Bamboo prices, I'd buy an any cubic Cobra printer. A Bamboo printer is on my list to get eventually. It's just $800 versus $200. It's hard to beat when the Cobra is a good printer. There you go. My wife thinks I only have about 200 cars. I agree all the time with her. Oh, speaking of cars, Bruce announced today that he just put about 150 cars in a collection on his website for sale. A lot of Carrera stuff, but that he's working on an 800 car collection. And so if you're looking for older cars, man, I'd be watching Cincy Slots webpage waiting for that 800 car collection to hit the website. That might take a while, but holy cow, what a collection that might be. Siage. Yep. Yeah. Don't pronounce the L's, Marty. I tell the lady only 50. Good answer. Right. Yeah, I know, John. Yeah. The extra L changes everything. Hey George, all analog, digital selection, very limited, and I found running all never change lanes. Yep. BLST is the track. Yeah, Omnibox they have a website with pricing. Marty Ford. Highland is over near Gary, 5.5 hours away. There we go. Yeah, Chris. He announced it in his video today. And he gave me a shout out, which was awesome. Bruce is a great guy. We've really gotten to know him, and yeah, Frankie, the Mosler is crazy fast. That's for the 4-lane, John. Cool. Order more roast coffee. Dave, what's up with the prices going through the roof for cars? David, I think it's just because the popularity of the hobby coming out of COVID, some of the older cars were really starting to come back, and people were getting maximum dollars out of it. So, you used to be able to buy a fly car for $35 without thinking about it, and now they're all $75 and $80 for the ones that a lot of people want. You can still find good deals on cars that like not everybody loves, but a Porsche 917 is going to go for $80 or $90. It's just how it is. But I think Slotted's prices have maintained relatively the same. Revo slots, Thunder slot, NSRs, those are all about what they've been. Scaly is the one that we've seen a big price increase, and I think Carrera tried to soften their price increases as much as they could over the last couple of years. So, but yeah, I think it's just where we're at in the hobby right now. It's getting really popular, and people are wanting to build their collections. And when there's a car that's not made anymore and you want it, unfortunately, you gotta pay some money for it. So inflation, I would say more inflation than gouging, but I think that there is some gouging going on out there. You just have to know what you want and be willing to be patient, I think. Hey, Daryl. Welcome. Good to have you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Bo, I think shipping has just turned into a crazy expense. And it just takes a lot more to get stuff over here. Yep. I agree. Inflation or gouging. So let's hit what's in the box. So this is a box, came from Alex Duncan. Alex is the maker of Axlebox and a friend of the channel. And he posted a couple weeks ago looking for someone who had a 4-lane track, digital and analog, and that he was looking for somebody who had a YouTube channel that would be interested. And I was like, I feel like, why didn't you just send me a direct message, Alex? So I sent Alex a message, and I'm like, hey, I have all those things that you're looking for, I think. So he's like, hey, I'm going to drop something off to you in the mail. Test it out. And I said, well, I'll do more than test it out. I'll put it to use, and I'll make some videos to help people know what they're getting into. So this is the Axlebox Ultra 4. So this is looks like part of the power supply for the box. And what else do we have? Packaged nicely. Well done. Alex is in Canada. British Columbia, correct? Here we go. right. There you go. This is the AxleBox Ultra 4. Has one switch compared to my box that has like 400 switches. Alex, well done, man. This is nice. This is nice. And so you've got basically a terminal strips on the back that are numbered 1 through 10 and A through J. Looks like we got a fuse and then a place to plug in the power. Very simple. Great design. The box is not big, not gigantic, but it's big enough because I know what needs to go in it, and I really like. Man, you picked a nice switch. I like the switch. Well done. I'm not going to open it up. There's no reason to open it up, but you can. This is a new box from AxleBox that they're starting to. And I'm not sure if you're shipping these yet. Probably waiting on some more testing. But Alex sent me the manual, and it's the instruction manual is laid out really well. And so what this will allow me to do is, I don't know if up or down. I'd have to look in here. But I have 4 digital lanes, and so I'll be able to connect this to the CU, and then run the 4 lanes digital, and then this will flip, and I can switch to analog with the flip of one switch. I love it. This will be great. So look for a video coming soon. I will probably work on this weekend to get this installed and up and running. We'll go through the manual for Alex to make sure that it's not missing anything, that it's easy to follow. And so try to help him out there because, I mean, it's laid out. I've already read it 2 or 3 times, just knowing that this was on its way, so I could be prepared for it. He's got the track pieces, pictures, everything's labeled, locations, because for somebody who hasn't already converted their digital track to digital analog, there are some things that you have to be prepared for. Like you have to take the jumpers out of a curve lane change track piece because they jumper both lanes together. That's in the instructions. There's some work that you have to do on the CU at that level because the lanes are jumpered there as well. And so when he went through to design this, I know what he went through to design this because I designed my own box, and you have to really protect that CU. The biggest issue that you run with analog versus digital is Carrera decided a long time ago that they would not be the standard rail as positive. And so your left rail in analog is positive, and on Carrera sets, the right lane is positive. The right rail is positive, sorry. And so that's the biggest difference. And so not only do you have to change polarity of your power and how that power you have to be careful because your cars would run in the opposite direction if you didn't make that swap, and so which means all your analog cars run the wrong direction on your digital track if you did not swap the polarity. So commercial tracks have always been positive polarity, but Carrera tracks are negative polarity. So just so you know. But yeah, I'm excited to jump on this. This is the Ultra 4 box, so this will do 4 lanes digital, 4 lanes analog at the flip of a switch. So Alex, I'm excited about that. Thanks, man. We'll get it installed, test it out for you. I'll create some instructional videos so people who might be interested in this and they want to upgrade. I believe you can go just 2 lanes digital 2 lanes analog with this if you wanted, and then you'd have room if you decided to go to 4 lanes. I'm still out to lunch on whether a 4-lane digital track is a lot of fun. I really feel like 2-lane is like the right amount for digital. 4-lane is fun. It's okay, but you know the only time you'd have to really get over in is for the pits. And then my nephews came over and my nieces came over and they raced digital for a couple hours. And they were all over the track. They had a blast just changing from left side to the right side and hitting all the lane changers. And they love to just change lanes. And so that was fun for them. I am way behind on the chat since I was talking about the box. But let's see here. Where are we at? That's right, George. Hey, Daryl. Frankie, Area 51, since talking with you about the differences, it really was night and day, digital versus analog. Career is just not on par with NSR slot at Revo. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You kind of have to understand what you're buying when you buy a Carrera car versus some of these other cars. If you're just wanting fast and those cars are, go for the Thunder slots, the NSRs, the sideways. Those are fast cars, right? If you want a car that's tough and can handle digital racing, then you want to stay with the Carreras because they are made, and probably the Scalies. They're made for taking the abuse. Red Sea problems, shipping container prices have doubled in 3 months. Yeah, Dan, it's crazy. Yeah, the problems they're having out there in the Red Sea is nuts. Highland is where the show is. We have tracks all over the north part of Indiana for 132nd scale racing. That's cool. So Midwest, maybe we take a trip up there and hit a handful of tracks over a couple days. Alex the man. Yeah, this box is fantastic. He did a great job. I can't wait to get it plugged in. Yeah, they have gone up everywhere. It's impacting everything, not just slot cars. It's impacting all kinds of stuff. Look at that. You must be talking about the box. Is it wireless? It is not wireless, John Mark. If it was wireless, it would be up on Big Ben. For any of you who have watched the IT Crowd, which my favorite UK guy, Slot R, he hates that show. He rolls his eyes when I tell him it's my favorite British comedy. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Hey, Rob is here. Rob, somebody was asking about you earlier. Good to have you. Timothy, looks simplified. That's good. Wonder how much. Timothy, I'm not sure if Alex has released prices yet. There we go. Estimated $300. That after building my own, guys, after building my own and looking through the instructions of how simple the installation is going to be, and once I go through it, I'll definitely do a full review. I think that's probably right on par with what he's got invested in, the components that I know that need to go in here to do this with one switch. Yeah, I think that Alex is on the right path with that. Yes, John, it can be fastened up underneath the table, which I think is fantastic, and just reach under and flip the switch. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, my boxes are up on top mainly because I've been doing a bunch of testing, and I will probably install this up top, just so that it's easy for the videos. But if I end up keeping this, which I'll have to work something out with Alex, because I think I'm supposed to send this back to him. If I fall in love with it and I can't live without it, we'll figure something out. I would definitely install it underneath the table, get it off the top of the table, and really clean the whole look up. So, yeah, I'm stoked about that. So great job, Alex. This looks fantastic. Marty, does that work with 2 lanes also? Les, I believe so. Yep, he already answered it. Works for 2 lanes and 4 lanes. Just terminate to half the terminals. Yeah, and once Alex gets closer and he knows that his instructions are correct, I'm sure he will post his install instructions out there. You can see what it takes to install one of these boxes, and that would explain all of that. But yeah, 2 lanes. Yeah, collection. I am too. That's why I'm not going to wait. Alex did not hesitate to send this to me, and I can't tell you what that means to me. That he trusted me to take a look at this and give him some feedback, and make sure that everything works like as it should. And I know he's tested this box. He knows that it's ready to go and working great, or he probably wouldn't have sent it out. But I'm happy to take a look at this. I'm excited about it. Plus, I know what went into it, and that's what makes me. I'm proud of Alex for doing that. Like, he saw a need in the slot car community for, people who wanted options when it came to creating a digital to analog converter. There's great products out there, but there was limited products, which is why I built my own. I wanted to save a little bit of money, but for me, it was part of creating some content for my channel, right? So that's why I took the chance to do it. And I caused some problems. I almost fried my controller, right? So there are some things that can go wrong when you're doing DIY stuff. So I think this comes in at a great price point, and we'll see. We'll make sure that it works great, and we'll definitely run it through its paces. So I'm stoked about it. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. And what we'll do is once it's installed and everything's working, and I am in the middle of doing a bunch of testing of other things on my track. So once I know that everything's working great, maybe we'll have Alex come on the live stream and talk to us about it, and go from there. There you go, Timothy. I would go to Alex's Facebook page. Very interested. Nice. Let's see. Question, Marty. How much is that box? Gary, he posted Sunshine Speedway is Alex that made this box, and he posted that he thinks it's going to be around $300. Let's see what else. Yes, you can go 2 lanes only with the 4. I'm excited for this new box, as I will be able to use the DeFalco at home. Eric Tucker. Yes. See, that's the beauty of the analog. I think once people listen, the True Speed digital controllers are fantastic. But once you try a really good analog controller, and you've got a sensitivity control, you've got brake control, you've got traction control on some of them, they really are great controllers. And we're a big fan of the DeFalco, but the Professor motor, we've used those. Those are great, especially when you've got the adjustment. And you can just dial your car in. I think that's the important thing to understand on the analog side, is you can really dial your car in. Now, you can do that through the computer, through the CU for digital racing. But it's a little different. And I think you will see that when Slot R puts out his video about his digital box, converter box that he's made, and when he starts testing analog cars versus digital cars. Right now, he doesn't have a whole lot of analog cars, I don't think. But I think that what we'll find is he's probably going to talk about the difference digital car feels compared to an analog car. He was describing to me just in a casual conversation how the cars felt different on the track, and I think that has to do with the controller. I think it's how the CU controls braking and controls your throttle versus an analog controller controlling your brake and your sensitivity. So I think it's just a different thing. So Eric, I agree. And that's why I built my box, because I wanted to be able to use my DeFalco on my track. There you go. Straight from Alex. Let's see. I saw a video years ago where someone used a Carrera Digital as a way to switch between different circuits. You mean like different tracks? That's actually pretty cool. Let's see. What else do we have? I was just going to order another 510 from Cincy. Well, you just ordered another 510 from Cincy. Thanks, Danny. Which one did you pick up? Because I've got the number 35 coming from Bruce. I'm pretty excited about that. What else? Let's see. It's a pity you don't have a dealer in Europe to sell them for you. He probably could do. Looking for feedback first, want the kinks worked out before taking other orders. That makes sense. Well, Alex, I won't make you wait, man. I'll get this installed this weekend. I'll set aside some time probably on Saturday, and I'll get it installed and up and running, and probably work on a video to come out next week, and go from there. Is this Slot Cars Anonymous? Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Welcome. The first step to recovery is not denying that you have a problem, Bruce. Not making fun of those programs are amazing, but yeah, we are all addicted to this hobby. So somebody I saw BRM. I'd rather BRM any day. That's Harry. And Bruce has one of the coolest BRMs I've ever seen. He's got a Sirocco, the VW. Man, that thing looked awesome in the case. It was everything I could do to not go home with it. Marty from the Chill. Hey, Garth. Welcome, man. Hope you're doing good. The Slot Car 12-step program. Take 12 steps towards the computer to order more cars. That's right. Bruce, thanks for tuning in tonight, man. I was just talking about you earlier about you working on that big collection. So you got us all excited about that. Too funny. Marty, the white kit. Oh, Danny, you are good at the paint stuff, man. Your mellow yellow car looks phenomenal. Well done on that. Yep. Bruce has sessions every Thursday night starting at 6:30. And Daryl has cars you can run. We'd love to have you. Yeah, man, you wish you were closer too. We would have some fun, Dan. That's a good group of guys. Marty, what difficulty on the Revo C5 Vet are you having? I don't. It must be in the box. John Mark has one, and we just can't get. I just can't get that thing to hook up. We're running silicone tires like always, and we don't have problems getting those tires to hook up on the track. But I just can't get it running like the rest of the Revo slots, and I don't know what it is. I've done the same tuning that I've done to all the other cars, and it's just not as fast. And maybe we got a dud of a motor, but it really isn't the motor. Like straight line, it's quick. It just doesn't get through the turns. It's very loose and can't get it to hook up through the turns. So I don't know. That's what we're running into. Burn Dog, a Hellcat feels different than a Z01, but both are fun, just different. Same as digital and analog. Burn Dog, that's a fantastic analogy. Kind of feel the same way. Yeah, Greg, check his website. This collection he just put up, I think he said it had 125, 150 cars, and a lot of them were Carrera. And he did mention that there were some 124 scale. So if you go to his website, cincyslots.com, and go to the Carrera page, you can go to the 124. If you shop Carrera 124 scale, and you can see all the 124 cars that he has out there. And so in that new collection, those would be out there. Jason, hey, Marty, Cubs versus Reds just around the corner. I know, Jason. Buddy, our rosters both are looking really good. Hopefully it pans out. We still need an enduro race. Yeah. Well, I got to get my lap timing fixed. Once I get my lap timing fixed, then we'll host something. How's that? During a Reds and Cubs series. Bruce said, thanks, Danny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Danny just hooked up a 510. I own one Thunder slot, Mark Donahue, number 7, Lola T70. I only have a Carrera digital track, so it's a collection beauty right now. Can't wait to get that box to run my Thunder slot. Timothy. The Thunder slots are some of the fastest cars we have when we run Can-Am class. Lots of guys run them. Now, there are some great slottets out there. Bruce has a Matra that's fast that none of us can keep up with. And I think James has one too at the club where we race. Those are great slotted cars, but the Thunder slots really do well. The Elvas, the McLarens, the M6As, M6Bs, those are all really, really competitive cars. You will be very happy. So, oh, I have a problem. Bruce, I've seen your collection. Hey, Jim. John is so correct. Just 12 steps back to the computer to order more cars. Is that right, Jim? Is that what you're referring to? You have a 4-lane Arton in a box. Nice, caveman. That's cool. Noob question that. Does BRM and Revo parts interchange? You mean like axles, wheels? I don't think so. Although Revo slot uses the 3mm axles, I do not know what BRM axles. Bruce might be able to answer that because he's got some BRMs. I don't know. I got to keep talking myself out of buying that dang VW BRM that he has every time I look at that thing. If we raced more 124 scale, it would have already been purchased probably. But Danny, I'm not sure. If you go to their website though, the parts list that comes with the cars is posted out there for each cars. So you could probably do a comparison of the 124 cars and the 132nd cars right on the website and get an idea what parts are interchangeable. Bruce, make sure you let us check out that collection before Daryl gets his hands on it. The M-Team Winston Cup race will be fun with all the livery NASCARs. I wish I would have built one for that. I just wasn't far enough along, George. But we're going to be in the land barge for sure. Not going to miss that one, but I'm missing this one. So, but we'll watch it though. I can't wait. It'll be fun. Add weight. Okay. I'll talk to you offline about it. I don't usually add weight to my Revo slots, just because they're so heavy already. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it needs more weight in the right place. So, yeah, I've got a roll of the golf foil tape. It's so thin, and usually I'm adding more weight but yeah, you can definitely get the weight low with that. I can't get the seam, get the Revo slot tuned either. Dan, what Revo slots do you have? Let's talk offline because between George and I think we can get you there because I don't have any problems getting my other Revo slots to run pretty good. I mean, they're not Bruce good, but they're pretty good. Our friend Bruce can tune a car, man. I'm telling you. He can drive a car, too. But Daryl can tune them up. So there's enough people around here that can help you get those Revo slots tuned up. So, Dan, let's talk. Yeah, Greg, go check them out. I don't know what all's out there. Daryl, that's my fault. Dusty could get there earlier. I can't get out of work. When we get there early, I've usually taken a half day off. So it's my fault. It's not Dusty's fault. Dusty, we'll just make sure that I take a day off the day that Bruce posts that collection. If tuning fails, put a magnet in it. There you go. Slack our daddy. I like how you think. That's funny. Good night. Good night, Alex. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know, John. You and I have talked about this. For some reason, I just cannot get this C5 tuned up. And I noticed that there are a few other people who have had similar issues with the C5 at Cincy Slots. I think James is struggling with his a little bit. I'm guessing that Bruce figured out his. But, man, they should be good. Okay, 3mm. So it's the same axles. There you go, Danny. Fairly sure that they're not interchangeable. I would say that there are a few parts that are interchangeable, but probably not the gears, but the axles. Some do, some don't. Let's see. May be interested in trading for some 132s. Right now, I like an Opel GT Carrera. There you go. Yeah, you're probably right. DNA would be the one. He was on earlier. Sometimes a set of tires can look okay, but not very good. Take a set of Revo that run good and put them on the C5. Jim, I struggled with a sideways car, an M1. I don't know how many conversations John Albright and I had about that car. Like, I was so frustrated with it. I just put it on the shelf for like 3 months. And I got so fed up that I just tore it down and started over, and I put a new set of tires on it. And it was like night and day. And what I discovered is there was a set of silicones, and I think that I got some contact cleaner when I was cleaning something else on those tires and caused them to go bad. And they looked fine, and they seemed to feel fine, but they really lost traction easy. And all it was a new set of tires, and the M1 was back and quick. And Yeah, that's all it took. So that's a great point. Sometimes you just get a set of tires that are just not as good. I trued the tires and aligned the pillars with the tool, added weight, 0.5 millimeter silicone washers in between the chassis pinions. There you go. Nice. Yeah, it was getting around the track pretty good. You give me too much tuning credit. So then it's all driving, Bruce? Is that what you're saying? That's great. Hey, Jim, that was a great series that you're doing on the 132nd cars. I really liked your video on it with your opinions about the what are they? The brushless motors. Yeah, really interesting. Thanks for posting those. Those were really good. But then it seems like you guys are enjoying the Revo Slot Group 2 cars as much as we are. I mean, we are racing them at Cincy Slots this month, and we are having an absolute blast. A couple weeks ago, there was only 2 laps between first place and last place. First place was 44 laps. Last place was 42 laps. Super tight. This week, there was a little bit more of a stretch. We had a few more people. So I think 45 laps won it, and 40 or 41 was the bottom. So still really, really tight. But yeah, we're having a blast with the Group 2 cars. So it's cool that some of the tracks you're running, you guys are all jumping on the Revo Group 2 bandwagon. It's a lot of fun to watch. That's funny. I'm just teasing you, Bruce. Sorry, man. Just messing with you. Collection. I've learned so much tonight. I raced slot cars 40 years ago, and a lot has changed. Thanks for the great collection, man. Thanks. I'm glad you're starting again. Welcome back to the hobby. We hope you have a good time. Hope this isn't the only time you show up on Tuesday nights. We're here 8 p.m. almost every Tuesday night for the past year at least. So we've built quite a crowd, very knowledgeable. And usually go 90 minutes, so I'm actually running a little late tonight, 9:37, and so I usually try to tune out by 9:30 Eastern time. Let's see, NorCal Slot, indeed a very good series about the motors. Thanks for that. Yeah, I thought that was great. Understanding motors, that's a big part of it, right? So we'll see what the future holds for some of that stuff, but. Question, anybody make a Mako Shark Vet in 132nd? I just ordered a model to do so. Caveman, I've not seen one. If anybody's made it, Carrera's probably made it over the years. But that's just not a Corvette that I've seen as a slot car. But I'm sure somebody's had to do it. Revo Slot Western Nationals coming in June. Come out and make sure John is there too. Jim, I can't keep up with you West Coast guys. You guys are too fast for me, man. It would be fun. It'd be fun to come out and watch a race, see how the pros do it out there. But, man, the racing's good. And, like, hats off to Marco. The coverage of the race as you guys do at Electric Dreams is fantastic. But, honestly, I just like watching your footage from all the different tracks. Midway or Midtown track, man, that's a great track. So you guys get to race on some really nice home tracks there in California. George, I don't know what I'm doing, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Steve, we got a lot accomplished. We talked about slot cars. So, yeah, let's where do I go to see Marty Ford's own scratch built PBP? I've only built one. I'm in the middle of 2. Here's number 2. Here's my chassis, and it's a Volkswagen Bug. And so I've got some different wheels and tires ordered. So that's my second scratch build. And then my first scratch build is a dirt car, the Jake Dyke Special. This car's pretty special to me. And that's my first scratch build. So not a lot of scratch build, but the next project is, haven't even opened it up yet, but my next scratch build project I'm really excited about is the land barge NASCAR proxy, and that I'm going to use the 63 Galaxy. Again, one of my favorite cars of all time as a kid. I loved Galaxies. I loved Mustangs. I was a big Ford guy because my last name's Ford. Dusty and I, our dad, he is the biggest Chevrolet guy you'd ever meet. And we were like, but your last name's Ford. We couldn't understand that as kids, but now we like everything. Fords, Volkswagens, Chevys, Dodge. It doesn't really matter. We're not super picky now. Motown, that's what it is, Jim. Thanks. I apologize for messing that up. Modesto. I have friends that live in Modestos that have an I call it an almond farm. They correct me and call it almonds. In California, I guess they're almonds, not almonds. And they have an almond farm, and they live in Modesto, right there. Really, really good people. So, man, if I ever make it out there to visit them, I would definitely have to visit Motown. Daryl, Ian would shame us terribly in California. Yeah, Ian's he's a fast guy. So is Rick, and so is Jim, and there's a lot of fast guys out there. So it'd be interesting to see the fast guys from Electric Dreams in California and the fast guys from Slot Car Corner and Cloverleaf and the guys that go to the Michigan 24. It'd be interesting to see those guys come together and race. That would be fun. George, that's funny. I would agree. Like when I was a kid, I thought the Gremlin was awesome. Now the Javelin, that's the car from AMC. That's good stuff. Eventually, I need to go and check out the West Coast slot car style. Maybe see how the Eastern techniques do out there. Josh, I think that would be really cool. I agree with you. Plus, it would just be cool to meet those guys and share stories and swap, knowledge and help each other out. And it's always fun. But man, there's some fast guys. The Matador, that's right, George. We just need to have a live stream and talk about old cars, George. Going down to 85 right now. Let's see. Yeah, we're starting to roll out. Gremlins should be the next Revo Group 2. That's great, Jim. The rolling pressure cooker, the Pacer. Have you ever looked up Dodge in the dictionary? Yes, it's something like to evade. Yes, it did. And it makes a great looking Trans Am car along with Pontiac. That's right. Well, guys, this has been fantastic. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate the thumbs up. Alex, again, thanks for the axle box. Look for a video coming out soon about that. And guys, I hope you go out and have some fun racing. Maybe we'll get out on the West Coast sometime. I would really like to get up to Cloverleaf and see how things operate up there with Mike. And those guys, it would be fun. And then there's always, there's little pockets of really great racing going on all over the country. So it'll be fun. we'd definitely have some fun if we ever got together. So, guys, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the live stream tonight. Thanks for joining in. I really appreciate this hobby. Happy birthday, John Albright. Please, no Pacer. The Gremlin X, different story. Yeah, you're right. The Gremlin X is probably a pretty bad machine. So, yeah, happy birthday, John. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, take care. DeFingers. Hope you feel better. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Gina, good night. Guys, thanks. Take care.